Hello from Harrelson Trumpets in Denver. I'm a little bit loud right now because I'm standing outside. This is the front entrance to the Denver Harrelson Trumpets shop. And it's been a few months since I've really given you guys any updates. So I wanted to show you around, show you all the changes that we've made over the summer, and just let you see what's happening at Harrelson Trumpets. So we're gonna go in. And this is my first time using one of these silly selfie stick things. So I really don't know how to hold this thing, but I'm gonna try. So this is what you see when you first come in the door. And some of that's packing peanuts, my kayaks, and then the shop. I'm gonna go all the way around once just so you can see everything. So many of you remember we had a shop in Minneapolis for many years. I've had shops in Montana, Nevada, and then of course in Colorado and Minnesota. And this shop is hopefully going to be in this location for at least 2 more years before we plan on building or buying a building for our headquarters, which would really become more of like a comprehensive brass center, so a place for all brass instrumentalists and some other things as well. So this is Harrelson Trumpets. You can see behind me, this is one of our walls of photos. So every once in a while we print some of our photos from Facebook or from our friends or our travels and put them up here. We actually have several walls full of photos. I'll just show you around and show you some of the newer stuff, and hopefully I can catch it all on camera. For those of you who even care, that's my computer where I sit and do a lot of my computer work. Behind me now we see the exhaust hood. This is where I do the soldering. And right behind me here you can see a couple different toolboxes. Those are fair-sized toolboxes, really. So this is where we keep orders. And this is full of trumpet orders and trim kit orders. The ones that are right behind me now, over here, these are parts that are being finished. And then over here, these are trim kit parts that are being finished for people's orders. So it looks like today I am finishing up some number 12 finger buttons for a Bach soloist, as well as looks like some top caps for a Phaeton flugelhorn. I think I made those yesterday. And then we did top caps for a Jupiter flugelhorn, and somebody ordered what do we have, some finger buttons for a Martin Committee. And then I think I have a 3-inch bottom cap for somebody as well. So that's a little bit about what this bench is. Now normally, you see this trumpet stand here, that's where we would finish trumpets. And quite a few of you have seen some of the changes happening here at Harrelson Trumpets, but what you haven't seen is that we lost 2 of our key employees, and one of them was Kelly Skolin. He was very good at his job, and I miss him greatly. He was doing the finishing on trumpets for all of 2016. Now that comes back to me. I'm doing it. I'm very fast at it, but at the same time I have a lot of things to do. So I'm slowed down just a little bit with production because of the finishing work. I'm backed up on finishing. We don't have Kelly. And then we had Kate, and Kate is no longer with us. I should say Kelly took a job as a professor at his home college. So congratulations to Kelly. Nice work. And then Kate went out and started her own business doing musical instrument repair, which is really what she was planning on doing before she even started here. So I appreciate the time that she was with us as well. And who knows, maybe she'll come back and work with us once in a while. Now, that bench, like I said, was for finishing. And I don't have a horn on there now, but we'll see one again soon. Here, we have some parts that just came back from plating. So it looks like we have 100 and, what is that, 128 rims. I think we even have more underneath here, other parts. This is where we keep the 5mm parts. So this toolbox is where I store all of the stuff that you're going to get when you order a 5mm. And let me see if I can set this thing down where you can see well. Okay. These are all rims. Yeah, I pretty much am not very good at holding this thing. Let's do it this way. That's probably better. So these are cups. They're 2 layers thick. We make every cup size, and we make them in almost 20 different depths. So we have half and third size cups. This luckily is a drawer that we have empty for now. And backboards. Over here, more cups, more rims, more rims, more rims, lots of rims. We make every rim size. If we don't have it on file, we can scan your mouthpiece, and I'll show you the CMM where we scan that later. And these are all of the throats, and here we have bodies and nuts. Now, that's quite a few of our 5mm parts. It's really not all of them. We store a lot more 5mm parts that we know we're going to use again and again because they're popular. This chest behind me here is full of 5mm parts for demos when people come in to try the system. And then behind me here, looks like we have a horn ready to ship out. Somebody bought the Summit Vines prototype, so we are just doing a final cleanup on that, and that will go out. And it looks like we have a few different bells back here for the Muse trumpets, which will be debuting here soon. Here we have some of my 5mm parts. Mine are plated in rose gold so that I can find them easily. And I want to show off these posters for a second. So we've made posters over the years. Very few people ever know about that or order them. But we'll make it more obvious soon, so you can order posters if you would like of our newest trumpets. This is our 5mm assembly bench. So this is where we do the final assembly of your 5mm modular mouthpiece. And this section here, it's 2 layers thick, those are all parts to go out to plating. So these are finished 5mm parts that are just ready to go out to plating. Most of these are for custom orders. And these 3 bins back here are the custom orders that we are working on right now. We have cleared out about 80 orders out of this in the last month, and we expect to finish this entire 3 bins within the next 5 weeks. So let's hope that happens. Here we have some more photos. This is probably the most in-depth tour you've seen of the shop in years. There's our bathroom, real exciting stuff. Yeah, we do have a parts washer in our bathroom. These are inventory of a lot of our different parts. Back here, see if we can get a good shot of this. There's a lot of stuff back here that most people don't see. Another toolbox, rotary, a screw compressor, some of our stock, some storage. On the top of the lathe, I have a lot of bells. This is the lathe. Right now, the lathe is making top caps. Let's take a look. So there it just dropped off a top cap. I'm going to open it up so we can see what's going on. So here it's pulling out the bar to cut a new piece, and now it's going to do the profiling on this piece. See if I can get in there a little closer. So that's the CNC lathe. Our lathe is a little different. It's actually a milling machine as well, so it can do full milling and it can do lathe work with the sub spindle. And that's the view that nobody ever really gets, but that's what it looks like. A quick note about the lathe. I do all the programming myself, so everything that's in these programs was written by me. Kate helped with some of that because I taught her how to edit some things, but there are tons and tons of lines of code that I've written over the years, and I've done it manually because I could have more control over the process, and at the same time, the software to program the lathe was like $40,000 when I first got it, so we never bought the software. However, we have new software now, and we can program the lathe with that. We're just starting to do that. It is faster for some things, and you will see some cool designs coming out of that. This machine is the VMC. I'm going to stop it because it's so loud. Alright, maybe you can hear me a little better now. This is the VMC. I'll stand back a little ways so you can see that machine. And this is a Herco. We've had other VMCs. I think this is maybe our 5th or 6th one over the years. And this machine, let's see if we can get in on the control. This machine allows us to make tuning slides, bell crooks, finger rings, braces, all that kind of stuff. And let's see what's on there right now. I was actually just warming the machine up, so we're not actually cutting anything yet. But you can see there are some bell crooks on there. I just pulled this one off to show somebody on a tour yesterday. So that is a finished bell crook, one half of it. And a little later, we're going to see how we put those together. I'll show you the laser welder. So that's the VMC. Over here we store a ton of parts. Typically we have enough parts on this set of shelves to probably assemble about 50 or 60 trumpets at any given time. The shop is filled with bells. We keep the bells loose, as you can see, hanging from the ceiling a lot of times and on shelves. And we do that because it's easier to find them and use them, and they're in a safe place. I'm going to go back this way for a minute. Hopefully I'm not making you dizzy. So the bench behind me now, over here, all of this is lathe setup. And this is just one of many benches and toolboxes used for the lathe. But the lathe and the milling machine, each of them have a lot of tools and a lot of accessories. I think the lathe itself would probably have about $40,000 or $50,000 in accessories just for that machine. Because we do so many diverse things, we need special tooling. We have 2 full sets of collets, and we have 2 different sizes of collets as well. I'll show you some of those. So these are collets, and I know it's a little dark back here, but just in collets alone, I think we probably have something like $30,000 in collets. It's kind of ridiculous. There's a little sneak peek behind the machine. There's a peek behind the VMC. All the stuff you never get to see. Real exciting. Okay, so this is the Momentum project. I'm pretty much wrapping up the Momentum. I've had problems. Some of you have backed the Momentum set on Kickstarter. I thank you very much. And I'll show you what we purchased with some of the proceeds. But the Momentum project has been a little bit delayed this summer because I didn't expect to lose 2 employees, and that's been really hard on us. I've been putting in 80 to 100 hours a week trying to keep up. Luckily we hired Joe, and Christine and Joe and Jen and I are working very quickly to finish all of the orders that we have, and we're moving very quickly now, but 3 months ago things got really slow, so we're just catching up. But Momentum is going to be shipping. A lot of it will start shipping at the end of next week. Okay, I didn't show you this, but back here is where we keep the horns that are either going to plating or have come back for assembly or are in progress. So there are quite a few horns back there at any given moment. And this little trough is where I do a lot of the assembly. And I'm going to come down to the end and turn around. I don't know if this makes people dizzy to look at this. So that area that you see behind me is where I do all the final work, all the finishing, and all the final fitting, and just all the stuff I have to do to get your horn put together properly. I do all the design either by hand or on the computer, and then I send that to the machines and cut the parts. But when I'm done, I have to do a lot of hand work to make everything fit perfect and to get the type of finish that you expect from Harrelson Trumpets. I'm going to show you one other thing up here. See if these lights are going to get in the way. These are some of my horns, and these are just horns out of my personal collection, but a couple of them are really cool. This one right here is the first horn I ever built in 1996. See if we can get a little closer. And then there's the Medusa, and back here, that one you see with the fins is the first Triton model. So there's a few of my horns. Here we have some orders that are ready to assemble or almost ready to assemble. And then some of the new stuff we have in this shop because we consolidated from Minneapolis. This is our finishing lathe, a lot of tooling in here and a lot of parts. We have things like mandrels and tools. Let's see what's in this one. These are mandrels just to hold all your top and bottom cap sizes. And this is a lapidary shaper. So this tool allows us to shape stones so that we can make them round or other shapes for our inlays for our finger buttons. And we do make our own finger button inlays a lot of times. And I'll just pull open a couple drawers so you can see some of that stuff. But these are all stones that I purchased at a gem show. Let me show you a couple of these. So that's what it looks like before I get started. And then we have to make it the right thickness, make it rounds. So we have to cut it down to a circle and then polish it and set it. There's a lot of work. So this is filled with all different variations of inlays. Here we have our new lapidary grinder. All of this tooling and the toolboxes were purchased with Kickstarter funds. That helped us quite a bit. We got all new tooling because our old lapidary tooling was pretty much falling apart. I had to rebuild it again and again. Okay, so that's a lot. You know, for this one shop, this is our HT machine shop. We've got, what, 16 minutes of video here. Hopefully all of this uploads on YouTube. I'm going to stop the video and then start a second one, so there'll be a part 2 to this. And we'll go over to the other space, which is our new showroom.